Ladies and gentlemen, our past may sometimes seem like a weight that we carry, but it is also where we find the seeds of our future. The experiences we've endured, no matter how dark or painful, do not have to define us forever. They can be the very fuel that propels us toward a life filled with purpose, success, and meaning. The first step in transforming our future is understanding that our past doesn't have the power to dictate who we are or what we can become. In fact, it is only by looking at our past honestly and critically that we can learn the valuable lessons necessary for our evolution. Every failure, every setback, and every moment of pain offers a lesson that, when learned, can drive us to greater heights. But here's the catch: we must take responsibility for our lives. Taking responsibility means understanding that the choices we make now will influence the course of our future. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Responsibility is the key that unlocks our potential. It is the moment we stop blaming others or the world or our circumstances and accept that we hold the power to shape our destiny. It is important to remember that adversity is not a curse, it's a gift. The people who achieve the most in life are often those who have faced the most challenging situations. It's through hardship that we discover our resilience, our inner strength, and our capacity to rise above the storm. The road to success is rarely smooth, but those who persevere are the ones who succeed. With this in mind, we must cultivate a mindset that sees challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities. A growth mindset is crucial if we are to truly transform our lives. Each obstacle, each failure is an opportunity to learn to grow and to get stronger. Without adversity, there would be no greatness. We wouldn't discover what we are truly capable of. Choosing your path is a powerful act of defiance against the world's expectations. The future you create is not determined by the limitations others place on you. Whether you come from a broken home, a troubled past, or face obstacles that seem insurmountable, your story is still yours to write. The most inspiring individuals in history have often risen from the most humble or painful beginnings. Their pasts may have been filled with struggle, but they chose to rise above, to move forward with courage, and to create lives that went beyond their wildest dreams. Finally, the most important step toward a brighter future is to have a vision, a reason to keep going when things get tough. A purpose that fuels your every action. Without purpose, we wander aimlessly. But with purpose, every step forward brings us closer to the life we've imagined. To those of you who feel like your past is holding you back, remember this: the worst pasts often lead to the best futures. Embrace your journey, learn from the struggles, take responsibility for where you are, and know that you have the power to create a future far beyond what you've experienced. Your best days are ahead of you if you choose to walk toward them. Your past does not define you. It is merely a collection of events, experiences, and decisions that have shaped who you are up until this point. But what is most important to understand is that your past is not a permanent marker that sets the course for the rest of your life. The power to redefine yourself lies in the choices you make today, in the actions you take, and in the mindset you cultivate moving forward. Often, when people think about their past, they focus on the negative. They look at the mistakes they've made, the hardships they've faced. It's the moments of failure or regret. It's easy to feel like these moments have scarred you, to feel as though you are a victim of your own history. However, this perspective traps you in a cycle of defeat. When we focus too much on our past, we forget that it is just one part of our journey. It is the past that we must learn from, not something that has the power to define us unless we allow it to. If the key to moving beyond a painful past is to confront it head on, to look at it without fear or denial. Every painful memory, every mistake, every failure contains valuable lessons. If you approach your past with a mindset that seeks to understand rather than to blame, you will begin to see that your struggles have equipped you with wisdom, resilience, and clarity. These experiences have shaped your character, and they have prepared you for the challenges that lie ahead. Many people make the mistake of avoiding the lessons that come with hardship, trying instead to bury their past under distractions or denial. But this approach does not allow for growth. In fact, it prevents it. The true growth comes from taking the time to reflect on where you've been and how those experiences can guide you to where you need to go. Your past is not an anchor that keeps you stuck. It's a springboard that can launch you to greater heights if you use it wisely. You might think that the mistakes you've made or the difficult circumstances you've faced disqualify you from achieving your dreams. You might think that because you've been through hardship, you don't deserve success, happiness, or fulfillment. This is simply not true. The people who achieve the most remarkable things in life are often those who have faced the greatest adversities. They have not been defined by their past, but have used it as fuel for their transformation. They have chosen to learn from their past rather than to let it control them. Take responsibility for your life, and in doing so, you reclaim the power to create a better future. Responsibility is the key to unlocking your potential. It means that you recognize that your present situation is the result of the choices you have made up until this point. But it also means that you have the ability to change the course of your life going forward. No matter what has happened in your past, you are in control of how you respond to it. And your response is what will shape your future. When you stop blaming others or external circumstances for your struggles, you free yourself from the limitations of victimhood. Responsibility doesn't mean you ignore the challenges you've faced, but it does mean you take ownership of your decisions. It's about choosing to act rather than react, about choosing to move forward rather than to remain stagnant. The moment you take responsibility for your life is the moment you begin to realize that you hold the key to creating the future you desire. No one else can do it for you. When you understand that your past does not have to dictate your future, you open up a world of possibility. Life is not a straight line, and the road to success is rarely easy or smooth. The challenges you face are opportunities to grow, to become stronger, and to develop the resilience needed to reach your full potential. The most successful people are not those who have never faced adversity, but those who have faced adversity head on and continued to push forward in spite of it. Remember that the greatest transformations in life often come from the most difficult experiences. It is through hardship that we develop the strength, wisdom, and perseverance needed to build the life we want. The obstacles we face are not barriers, they are stepping stones that can lead us to greater heights, if we have the courage to face them and learn from them. By choosing to view your past as a tool for growth, you empower yourself to break free from the cycle of self-doubt and fear. You begin to see that you are not bound by what has happened to you. You are free to create the future you want, no matter how difficult or painful your past may have been. Embrace the lessons of your past, take responsibility for your present, and use it all to create the future you deserve. The worst pasts often lead to the best futures, because the people who come from the most challenging backgrounds are often the most determined, the most resilient, and the most willing to work hard to overcome their circumstances. They do not let their pasts limit them. They use it as a source of strength, and they prove that no matter where you start, you can build a future that is brighter, better, and more fulfilling than anything you could have imagined. Taking responsibility for your actions, decisions, and life is the foundation of creating a brighter future. When we hear the word responsibility, many people associate it with burdens or obligations. But in reality, responsibility is a powerful tool that allows us to regain control of our lives. It is the recognition that no matter what happens to us, we have the power to choose how we respond and how we move forward. When we take responsibility, we acknowledge that our actions, behaviors, and decisions are what shape our reality. The external world may present us with challenges, but it is ultimately up to us how we handle them. We are not victims of circumstance, and we do not have to let past events dictate our future. Taking responsibility means we stop blaming others and we stop giving away our power. It means we stop making excuses and start taking the necessary steps to create the life we want. Responsibility also comes with self-awareness. It's about being honest with ourselves about where we are in life and why we are there. Often, it's easy to point fingers at external factors, the economy, family issues, or bad luck. However, while these factors may play a role in our lives, they do not have the final say. It is our response to these challenges that truly matters. Taking responsibility is about looking at ourselves critically and asking, what role did I play in this situation? What can I learn from it? What steps can I take now to change my circumstances? The beauty of responsibility is that it empowers us to change the direction of our lives. Once we accept that we are responsible for where we are, we also realize that we are in charge of where we are going. When you take full responsibility for your life, you stop waiting for others to fix things for you. You stop relying on external circumstances to improve, and instead, you focus on changing your internal world. This shift in mindset is powerful because it places you in the driver's seat of your life. No one else can steer you but you. This is where true transformation begins. When you take responsibility, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of your past. You stop feeling helpless and start recognizing that, no matter how difficult your past may have been, you have the power to shape your future. The moment you stop blaming others or circumstances is the moment you reclaim your power. It's the moment you realize that everything you need to create the life you desire is within you. This doesn't mean that the journey will be easy or that challenges will disappear. However, it means that you have the power to overcome them, and that power starts with taking responsibility for your life. Taking responsibility is also a way of aligning your actions with your values. When we avoid responsibility, we often end up making decisions that don't reflect who we truly are or what we really want. By accepting responsibility, we ensure that our actions are aligned with our goals, and we make choices that move us closer to the person we want to become. It's about integrity, doing what you know is right, even when it's difficult, even when it's uncomfortable. The act of taking responsibility also involves forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes, and it's easy to carry around guilt or regret for the choices we've made in the past. But holding on to guilt only holds us back. To take responsibility for our lives means we must also learn to forgive ourselves and let go of past mistakes. We can't change the past, but we can choose how we carry it with us. Letting go of guilt frees us to take action, to move forward, and to create a future that reflects our highest potential. The path to greatness is not about avoiding responsibility, it's about embracing it. The most successful people in life are those who take full ownership of their journey. They don't blame others for their circumstances. They don't wait for someone to come and save them. Instead, they take responsibility for every decision, action, and outcome in their lives. And through that ownership, they create extraordinary lives. When you take responsibility, you set yourself free from the chains of self-doubt, fear, and complacency. You become the master of your own destiny. The first step toward creating your best future is taking responsibility for your life today. When we look at the most successful individuals, we often see a story of resilience and determination. But behind their success lies a willingness to take responsibility for their lives, to rise above their circumstances, and to learn from their mistakes. Success is not a product of luck, nor is it handed to anyone on a silver platter. It's the result of countless decisions, actions, and a relentless commitment to taking responsibility for what you can control. When you realize that responsibility is the key to unlocking your potential, you begin to see that no matter where you start, you have the ability to create a future beyond your wildest dreams. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the most empowering choice you can make. It is the key that unlocks the door to your future. It's important to recognize that while we cannot always control the external forces that shape our lives, we always have control over how we respond to those forces. The more responsibility we take, the more power we have to change our lives. Each step you take toward accepting responsibility is a step toward building the future you desire. No one can do it for you. You must be the one to take action, to move forward, and to claim the future that is yours to create. Responsibility is the key that unlocks your potential and the path to your greatest success. Adversity is an undeniable part of life. No one is immune to hardship or suffering, but what sets successful individuals apart from the rest is how they approach and handle adversity. In fact, adversity has the potential to shape us into stronger, more resilient individuals when faced with the right mindset. The most significant transformations in life often come not in times of comfort, but in times of difficulty and struggle. It's in the face of adversity that we discover our true strength, character, and capacity for growth. When we face challenges, it's easy to fall into a mindset of despair, to question our abilities, and to wonder whether we will ever overcome the obstacles in front of us. These feelings are natural, but they must not be allowed to control us. Adversity, instead of being seen as something to avoid, should be recognized as an opportunity. It's through these difficult moments that we learn valuable lessons about ourselves, our abilities, and the world around us. The first lesson adversity teaches us is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and to continue moving forward despite challenges. Without adversity, we would never have the chance to build this vital skill. Resilience is what allows us to keep going when the road gets tough, when the odds seem stacked against us. It's the inner strength that helps us face each day with the determination to overcome, no matter how many times we fall. Every time we face adversity and choose to keep moving forward, we build resilience. It's in these moments that we learn what we are truly capable of. Overcoming adversity strengthens our belief in ourselves and teaches us that we have the power to face whatever challenges come our way. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go according to plans, but those who embrace adversity as a teacher will ultimately find that their capacity for resilience grows exponentially. Adversity also teaches us humility. When everything is going well, it's easy to become complacent, to take things for granted, and to believe that success is inevitable. However, adversity has a way of reminding us that life is unpredictable and nothing is guaranteed. The challenges we face humble us and ground us, helping us appreciate the good moments when they come. These difficult experiences also help us develop empathy for others who are going through similar struggles. They remind us that everyone is fighting their own battles, and that no one should be judged by their external circumstances alone. Furthermore, adversity helps us develop problem-solving skills. In difficult times, we are often forced to get creative, to think outside the box, and to come up with solutions we may not have otherwise considered. Problems force us to look at situations from a new perspective, to analyze our options, and to make the best decisions with the information we have. Adversity teaches us how to adapt and innovate, skills that are invaluable in both our personal and professional lives. It's easy to stick to the familiar path when things are going smoothly. But adversity pushes us to explore new ways of thinking, working, and being. One of the most important aspects of dealing with adversity is perspective. How we view our challenges plays a crucial role in how we handle them. If we view adversity as something negative, something that is holding us back, we are more likely to become discouraged and give up. However, if we see adversity as a necessary part of our growth, a chance to become stronger and more capable, we approach it with a different mindset. This shift in perspective can make all the difference in how we cope with difficulties and how we ultimately emerge from them. Adversity is not something to be feared or avoided, it is something to be embraced. It is the forge in which we are shaped, the fire that strengthens our character. The more adversity we face, the more resilient and capable we become. The most successful people in life have faced adversity head on and emerged stronger because of it. They have not allowed hardship to defeat them. They have allowed it to refine them, to mold them into individuals who are capable of achieving their dreams, no matter the obstacles in their path. The key to overcoming adversity lies in how we respond to it. Do we let it break us, or do we use it as an opportunity to grow and evolve? The choice is ours. When we choose to face adversity with a mindset of growth, when we approach it as a teacher rather than an enemy, so we begin to see the challenges in our lives as stepping stones toward a better future. Adversity does not have to be a roadblock. It can be the path that leads us to our greatest successes. The transformation that comes from adversity is not immediate, nor is it easy. It requires time, patience, and a willingness to keep going even when things seem impossible. But through perseverance, determination, and resilience, we can overcome anything that stands in our way. It is in the struggle that we find our strength. It is in the hardship that we learn the most about ourselves. And it is through adversity that we discover the depth of our own potential. So the next time you are faced with a challenge, remember this: it is not the adversity that defines you, but how you choose to face it. If you choose to learn, adapt, and grow from it, then adversity will ultimately become a powerful force for transformation in your life. A growth mindset is essential for those who wish to overcome adversity and achieve greatness. It is a belief that skills, intelligence, and abilities are not fixed traits, but can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Those who embrace a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles to avoid. They believe that with hard work, perseverance, and a willingness to learn from mistakes, they can achieve anything they set their mind to. This mindset is crucial because it allows individuals to keep moving forward even when faced with setbacks. Without a growth mindset, failure is often seen as a reflection of one's inadequacy, leading to discouragement and eventually giving up. However, those with a growth mindset understand that failure is not a sign of weakness, but a stepping stone to success. When we develop a growth mindset, we are less likely to be discouraged by setbacks. Instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable barriers, we learn to see them as opportunities to build new skills, solve problems, and grow. This mindset shifts our perspective from focusing on what we cannot do to focusing on what we can learn. When we fail, we do not see it as a defeat, but as a chance to understand where we went wrong and how we can improve in the future. Each mistake becomes a valuable lesson, each challenge a chance to become better. The beauty of a growth mindset is that it encourages continuous improvement. It teaches us that no matter where we start, we have the ability to change and grow over time. It shifts our attention away from fixed abilities or innate talents and instead focuses on effort, practice, and perseverance. This means that no matter how difficult the journey, we have the power to improve and achieve success. For example, someone starting a business may face failure after failure, but with a growth mindset, They understand that each setback is not a sign to quit, but an opportunity to learn more and refine their approach. They recognize that the most successful entrepreneurs are those who failed many times before they succeeded, but their ability to learn from their failures and keep going is what eventually led to their success. In practical terms, adopting a growth mindset involves embracing challenges, seeking feedback, and being open to learning. It means being willing to step outside of your comfort zone and try new things. Even if it means failing at first, it requires seeing failure not as a reflection of your worth, but as an essential part of the learning process. When we embrace challenges and failures in this way, we start to see progress as the result of effort and dedication, not luck or talent. It's about understanding that talent alone is not enough to achieve greatness. Persistent effort and a willingness to learn are what truly lead to success. A growth mindset also involves patience. Transformation and growth do not happen overnight, and developing new skills takes time and consistent effort. People with a growth mindset are not focused on instant results, but understand that long-term progress is what matters. This patience allows them to stay focused on the journey rather than getting discouraged by immediate outcomes. They know that progress may be slow at times, but as long as they are moving forward, they are headed in the right direction. Another key aspect of a growth mindset is the ability to embrace feedback and constructive criticism. People with a growth mindset see feedback as a tool for improvement rather than a personal attack. They understand that constructive criticism is valuable because it shows them areas where they can improve. This openness to feedback helps them refine their skills and strategies, ultimately leading to growth. In contrast, those with a fixed mindset often see feedback as a reflection of their failure or inadequacy and may avoid it, preventing themselves from growing. Developing a growth mindset also requires overcoming self-doubt. It's easy to question ourselves when we encounter obstacles, especially when we don't see immediate progress. But those with a growth mindset recognize that self-doubt is a normal part of the learning process. Rather than allowing self-doubt to stop them, they use it as a signal to push harder and keep going. They remind themselves that everyone experiences self-doubt at some point, but it is the ability to push through it that separates those who succeed from those who give up. In addition, adopting a growth mindset helps foster a sense of resilience. When we approach life with the belief that we can learn and grow, we become more resilient in the face of challenges. Instead of feeling defeated by adversity, we use it as an opportunity to grow stronger and more capable. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, and this is precisely what a growth mindset helps cultivate. When we see challenges as opportunities to build resilience, we start to approach life with more confidence and determination, knowing that we have the tools to overcome anything that comes our way. The power of a growth mindset extends beyond individual achievements. It also positively impacts our relationships and our work environments. People with a growth mindset are more likely to collaborate, share ideas, and learn from others. They understand that no one has all the answers and that learning from others is a vital part of the growth process. In the workplace, this mindset leads to better teamwork, more innovation, and a culture of continuous improvement. In relationships, it fosters understanding, patience, and a willingness to grow together. Ultimately, a growth mindset is about embracing the idea that growth is possible for everyone, regardless of where they start. It is the belief that through effort, learning, and perseverance, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve our goals. It shifts the focus from inherent ability to the process of growth and development. With this mindset, challenges are no longer something to be feared. They are opportunities to learn, improve, and achieve the success we desire. Adopting a growth mindset is not just about achieving success. It's about creating a life that is constantly evolving, constantly improving, and always moving toward a better future. The importance of setting clear goals cannot be overstated when it comes to shaping our future. Goals give us direction and purpose, acting as a roadmap that guides us toward our desired outcomes. Without goals, we may find ourselves drifting aimlessly, unsure of where we're going or how to get there. Having clear, well-defined goals allows us to stay focused and motivated even when faced with obstacles. They serve as a constant reminder of what we are working toward and help us prioritize our actions and decisions. Setting clear goals is a process that starts with self-reflection. To set goals that are meaningful, we must first understand who we are, what we value, and what we want to achieve in life. This self-awareness is crucial because it ensures that our goals align with our true desires and passions. If our goals are based on external expectations or superficial desires, we may find ourselves unmotivated and disillusioned when things get difficult. However, when we set goals that are deeply rooted in our values and aspirations, we feel a sense of purpose and determination that drives us to keep moving forward. Once we have a clear sense of our values and desires, the next step is to break our larger, long-term goals into smaller, more manageable objectives. This is where the power of incremental progress comes into play. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the enormity of our dreams, but when we break them down into smaller steps, they become more achievable. Each small step we take toward our goal is a victory in itself, and these small wins accumulate over time, leading us to our ultimate destination. By focusing on the process and taking consistent, focused action, we create momentum that propels us forward. In addition to making goals more manageable, breaking them down into smaller pieces also allows us to track our progress. When we see that we are making tangible progress, it boosts our confidence and motivation. It reminds us that we are capable of achieving what we set out to do, and it helps us stay focused on the next step rather than becoming discouraged by the bigger picture. This sense of progress reinforces the idea that success is not achieved overnight, but through consistent effort and perseverance. Goal setting is not just about achieving the end result. It's about the person we become in the process. The journey toward our goals teaches us valuable lessons about ourselves, our strengths, and our weaknesses. It challenges us to grow and develop new skills, build resilience, and become more disciplined and focused. The obstacles we encounter along the way push us to dig deeper and find solutions we might not have considered. These challenges are not setbacks. They are opportunities to build character and refine our approach. As we work toward our goals, we learn to manage our time, make better decisions, and stay disciplined, all of which are essential skills for success. Furthermore, setting clear goals helps us stay accountable. It's easy to become distracted or lose focus when we don't have a clear vision of what we want to achieve. But when we set specific, measurable, and time-bound goals, we create a sense of accountability for ourselves. We become more committed to taking the necessary actions because we know exactly what we need to do and by when. This accountability also extends to others. When we share our goals with friends, family, or colleagues, we create a support system that encourages us to stay on track. Accountability not only helps us stay focused, but also provides us with the motivation to keep going when the going gets tough. However, it's important to remember that goals should be flexible. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change in an instant. While it's important to have a clear vision of where we want to go, we must also be open to adapting our goals as we go along. Flexibility allows us to stay resilient in the face of unexpected challenges and ensures that we are not so rigid in our thinking that we miss new opportunities for growth and success. By being adaptable, we maintain our focus on the bigger picture while being open to new paths that may lead us to even greater achievements. Another essential aspect of goal setting is the ability to visualize success. Visualization is a powerful tool that can enhance our motivation and belief in our ability to achieve our goals. By mentally rehearsing the actions we need to take and imagining the positive outcomes of our efforts, we create a strong sense of confidence and determination. Visualization helps us internalize our goals, making them feel more attainable and real. It also helps us stay focused on our desired outcomes, even when faced with setbacks. By seeing ourselves as successful, we increase our chances of actually achieving success. Finally, it's crucial to celebrate our progress along the way. It's easy to get so focused on the end result that we forget to appreciate the journey. Celebrating small wins helps us stay motivated and reinforces the idea that we are making progress. It reminds us that success is not just about the destination, but about the growth and achievements we experience along the way. When we take time to acknowledge and celebrate our progress, we create positive reinforcement that keeps us motivated and energized to continue working toward our goals. Setting clear goals is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process that requires self-awareness, commitment, and adaptability. By setting goals that are aligned with our values, breaking them down into manageable steps, and maintaining a growth mindset, we can overcome obstacles and achieve the success we desire. Goals give us direction, focus, and motivation, helping us stay on track and make consistent progress toward our dreams. Remember, success is not just about reaching the destination, but about who we become on the journey. So, set your goals with intention, stay committed to the process, and embrace the lessons and growth that come along the way. The future you envision is within your reach, one step at a time. One of the most important aspects of shaping a better future is the ability to cultivate perseverance. Perseverance is the quality that enables us to keep going, even when the road becomes difficult. And when success seems far off, it is the ability to keep moving forward in the face of obstacles, adversity, and setbacks. Perseverance is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's not about how many times we fall, but how many times we get back up. The people who achieve great things are often those who have failed numerous times, but have continued to push forward despite the challenges they faced. Perseverance is not something that comes naturally to everyone. It requires discipline, resilience, and a strong belief in oneself and in the eventual rewards of hard work. Many people give up too early, believing that success is unattainable or that they are not capable of reaching their goals. However, the reality is that success rarely comes without struggle. Those who persevere are the ones who stay committed to their goals, even when the going gets tough. They understand that failure is not a permanent state, but a temporary setback that can be overcome with determination and effort. Perseverance also requires patience. Success does not happen overnight, and there are often many setbacks along the way. The key to maintaining perseverance is to stay focused on the long-term goal rather than getting discouraged by short-term difficulties. It's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture when we encounter obstacles, but true perseverance requires us to keep our eyes on the end result and remain determined to reach it, no matter how long it takes. This long-term view allows us to maintain motivation even when the process seems slow and progress appears minimal. In order to cultivate perseverance, it's essential to embrace a mindset of growth and resilience. When we view challenges as opportunities for growth, we are more likely to stay committed to our goals. Each obstacle becomes a lesson to be learned, and each failure becomes a stepping stone to success. This shift in perspective allows us to stay focused on what we can control: our effort and determination. When we approach challenges with this mindset, we are less likely to be discouraged by setbacks and more likely to find ways to overcome them. Additionally, having a support system can play a crucial role in maintaining perseverance. We don't have to face challenges alone. When we surround ourselves with people who encourage us, offer advice, and share in our struggles, we are more likely to stay motivated and keep going. Having a strong support network can provide the emotional strength we need to continue, especially during difficult times. It's important to find people who believe in our potential and who will remind us of our strength when we start to doubt ourselves. Another key aspect of perseverance is the ability to stay adaptable. While it's important to remain focused on our goals, we also need to be willing to adjust our approach when necessary. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go according to plan. Being adaptable allows us to find new solutions when obstacles arise and to pivot when our original plan is no longer viable. Adaptability ensures that we don't become so fixated on a single path that we miss other opportunities for growth and success. It's about finding new ways to keep moving forward, even when the circumstances change. Perseverance also involves maintaining a positive attitude. It's easy to become discouraged when we face failure after failure, but a positive attitude allows us to maintain hope and stay motivated. A positive outlook helps us to see challenges as temporary and surmountable rather than as insurmountable roadblocks. It encourages us to keep going even when things are not going well. A positive attitude helps us to focus on solutions rather than problems and to view setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. In the process of persevering, it's essential to maintain balance. While perseverance requires hard work and determination, it's also important to take care of ourselves along the way. Self-care is vital to ensuring that we have the energy, focus, and clarity needed to keep going. Burnout can occur when we push ourselves too hard without taking the time to rest and recharge. By maintaining a healthy balance between work and rest, we ensure that we can continue pursuing our goals without sacrificing our well-being. Perseverance is not a trait that is limited to a select few. It is something that anyone can cultivate with the right mindset, support, and determination. It's about building the resilience to overcome obstacles, staying committed to our goals, and not giving up when faced with challenges. While the journey may be long and difficult, perseverance is what will ultimately get us to the finish line. The key to achieving success is not about avoiding failure, but about continuing to push forward, no matter how many times we fall. Every time we get back up, we become stronger, more resilient, and closer to achieving our dreams. In the end, perseverance is the key to creating the best possible future for ourselves. It's about staying committed to our goals, even when the road gets tough, and knowing that the struggles we face along the way are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to success. The future is not determined by how many obstacles we face, but by how we respond to those obstacles. If we persevere, we will undoubtedly create the future we desire. Perseverance is the driving force behind achievement, and it is through perseverance that we unlock our full potential and turn our dreams into reality.